Alright, we've done the swish pattern. Now let's move in to number 2 on my list, which was anchors. What is an anchor, I hear you ask? Well, an anchor is when we emotionally attach to something. And that thing comes up in our life and it sets off a feeling. Now, I think we've all got anchors in our life. Think about a song that fires you up. That's a great example of an anchor. Think of maybe something you love to do that really lifts your spirits. You know, when you walk in the door and you feel great, to maybe you love a sport, or maybe you love hiking, and it gives you a feeling. That's an anchor. But of course, we have other anchors in our life. I can remember one anchor of mine from the year 2000. That's 21 years ago. And I was traveling in South America. And I would stay with this local family when I was learning to speak Spanish. My Spanish is no good now. And I was learning to speak Spanish, and I was living with a local family as part of the homestay arrangement. And every morning, Senora Judith, or Mrs. Judith, would come out and serve me breakfast, and she would give me banana and coffee. Very, very milky and sugary coffee. And it was beautiful. It was fantastic. And what happened was, I associated eating a banana and a coffee at the same time, that mixture of flavor and taste. I associate that with this incredible holiday to South America. This was in Quito in Ecuador. And it was such an incredible holiday, and it brings back all the feelings of that incredible adventure when I was very, very young. Well, to this day, if I have a coffee and a banana as a combination, which sometimes I do, I will guarantee you my brain goes straight back to Senora Judith's breakfast table. I remember it was round and it was circular, and there was toast and other things on the table. It was fantastic. And so I am instantly teleported back to that adventure. But in that moment, yet we're decades beyond when I stayed at Senora Judith's house. So you can see what I mean. Your anchors live inside you, and they're emotional, and that's what we want to utilize to help you with your anxiety antidote. So now, this is what we're going to do. We are going to build for you your very own anxiety antidote anchor. And what I've decided to do with this particular exercise is there is an element inside that field of neuro-linguistic programming where we have a spatial anchor. And a spatial anchor is where we can see something in space and we attach our emotions to that. And what I thought, what would help somebody in their everyday? What's something spatially that would connect someone every day back into their anxiety antidote that we're about to build? And I thought to myself, why not make it a doorway? Because we walk through doorways all the time. It makes so much sense. Now, the exercise I'm going to share with you, it originally is called the Circle of Excellence. And the idea is you put a circle on the ground, you imagine one in your mind, and we put some features into it, and we do a bunch of things, and then we step into that, and that inside we associate that pretend circle with the feelings. And we can use that circle anywhere, anytime. But I thought, why not make it an object that we feel all the time, we see all the time, we walk through all the time? Why not make it a doorway of calm, the doorway of safety, the doorway of grounded? So whatever your anxiety antidote word is, if you think back to the swish pattern, I want you to think about it again now. I want you to think about the word, the one that's really powerful for you. I'm going to go with safe. And You want to feel safe, feel secure. And so I want you to think about a time when you felt safe before we start this exercise. A time when you felt secure, or a time when you felt calm. Maybe you were walking on that proverbial beach, or in nature, or having a massage, or experiencing a yoga session, or maybe you were playing sport and you felt at peace. Whatever it is for you, it doesn't matter. Maybe you were playing the guitar, and maybe you were playing an instrument, maybe you were singing. Whatever it is for you, whatever you find really centers, grounds, and makes you feel very safe. All right, so think about those memories while we now play with your doorway to calm. All right, you got your doorway to calm. Now let's get started. So I want you to now imagine, for the moment, a doorway in front of you. You can see the architrave going up, the door timbers around the edge, you can see the floor, and you can see the space through which you can step through. Now I want you to stand up for this exercise, and I want you to step through a door in your mind, but I want you to have about 2-3 meters in front of you, just so you can take a step. So make sure there's nothing around you, make sure you're nice and safe. Give yourself just enough room to step through and then step out. Because we're going to do it a few times. I'm going to get you to step through and step back. And I want you to step in a pretend doorway. Now don't make it a real doorway for the moment. Leave yourself in the living room or in your bedroom where there's plenty of space. And what I want you to do is I want you to create that imaginary doorway, and we'll soon associate that with the real doorways in your life. So every time you go through a doorway, you'll have this feeling of calm anchored to you. Okay, so you've got your imaginary doorway. And I want you to imagine the door frame. And the door frame, what color would calm and safe be to you? Give it a color, whatever it is for you. That frame, that door frame. And take that color and make sure it also wraps around underneath that color on the floor, so that you would walk through that or onto that color of calm. Okay, so you've got your color. Excellent. And when you look at that door frame, I want you to tell me what that color of calm, what's the texture of the timber around that door frame? What does calm look like to you? It doesn't have to be a timber texture. It could be smooth. It could be shiny like metal. It could be furry. It could be anything you want it to be. But what is the texture? Choose your texture of your doorway of calm. Okay, you've got your color. You've got your texture. And when you look at that doorway of calm that's in front of you, that you're imagining right now, I want you to think, what sound does it make? Is there any sound that calm makes? Is it like an om sound? Or is it like a harp playing? Or is it the words that you might have heard when you were young? What is the sound that comes from this doorway that's sitting in front of you, that you're about to step through? Think about those features, the sound or the words you hear, the color, and the texture of this doorway. Do you have those features now? Lock those into your mind. And now I want you to think of a time when you were feeling safe. That memory. Go to a memory when you were feeling secure. Go to the memory when you were feeling calm. And as you think about that memory, I want you to see everything you saw in that memory. I want you to feel all the things you felt at that time. I want you to hear the words that people said. Hear the sounds of the experience. That experience of being secure and safe and calm. Really sit in that moment. And I want you now to experience it like you were there. And turn up the volume of those feelings. That feelings really associate into that moment when you were calm. And just as the feeling starts to peak, I want you to step into your doorway. Step into your doorway. And just imagine those feelings, feel those feelings of that time when you were totally calm. And when it's peaked, I want you to step back out of the doorway. Remember, you've got that clear space. Okay, that's one round. Okay, now, do you smell popcorn? That's to wipe the screen and get your body back to a normal state. Now let's do it again. I want you to imagine that scene. You can see your door frame in front of you. You can now imagine that scene when you felt calm, secure, and relaxed, and safe, most importantly. Take that image, take that scene, remember all the feelings, and now step in to your doorway and make the feelings get bigger and brighter and vibrate faster and really engulf your whole system. Great job. And now step out of your doorway. And once again, what did you have for lunch? Did you have chicken? We're just wiping the screen. We're clearing the system. Okay. And so now let's do it one more time. Think of that same scene where you felt totally calm and relaxed. Do you remember that scene? And you might come up with other scenes as you're going, as you stir up your brain, when you were totally relaxed. It was doing yoga, it was massaging, it was playing golf, it was whatever it is for you when you're totally safe. And step into your doorway with the color, with the texture, with the feeling of calm. And I want you to imagine that scene and live it and breathe it like you were there. Turn up the volume of all the feelings. Feel them rushing up the body. Really amplify. And when you know you're peaking, then step back out of that doorway. And do you smell popcorn? Wipe the screen. Back to calm. What did you have for breakfast? That's right. Okay. So now we've got our pretend doorway and we've associated some feelings into that pretend doorway. Now we have to test it. So let's step back a little bit and we've got our pretend doorway in front of you. You've got the doorway with the color of calm, with the texture of calm, with the sounds of calm. You've got that. And now step into that doorway and feel the feelings rush through you. Those feelings of calm. All those old memories flooding back from all those calm times. All those safe and secure times. Feel it for just a few moments. And then step out. And do you feel popcorn? Do you smell even popcorn? You've done great. Now, I want you to test it properly. I want you to walk to your doorway with your eyes open. Look at the frame. There's one just over here. Look at the frame. And I want you to look at that frame the same color. Turn it in your mind to the same color as your calm color. And look at the textures, the same texture as your calm texture. And look at the frame, the timbers and the floor with the same sounds that you came up with as your sounds of calm. And as you look at them, I want you to step through a door and imagine all those feelings coming back that we just anchored. So now every time you see a doorway, you are going to feel calm, you are going to feel relaxed because you're going to see your color of calm, you're going to see your texture of calm on that timber architrave. You're going to see and feel and you're going to even hear the sounds of calm as you go through that doorway. And all those old feelings will rush back. And this is something you can do that through your day. If you forget about the doorway of calm, you can just remember, oh, that's right, the doorway of calm. Imagine the doorway frame with the colour, the texture, and the sounds, and then step through it and remember all those good feelings. And because we go through so many doorways, just picture every doorway, and eventually your brain will see the doorway as the colour of calm every time, and you will find a relaxed state. Now, this might not solve the deeper stuff, but it's creating a fuller, more calm future you. So by focusing you on something that was being positive from the past, you create a more positive future. Hence why I put this one in the future. I hope you enjoy the doorway of calm. Practice it. Repeat this exercise. Every time you do it, you will strengthen it. And it will last, depends on the person and how well you've imagined. But the reality is, if you do it time and again, it'll solidify, it'll stick with you. And even if it drops off a little bit, you can just come back to this video and boost it up. And eventually it will become a neural pathway, part of who you are. I hope you enjoy the doorway to calm.